Hey, it's Raktar, and you might notice right off the bat here that I started off at the gate because I wanted to see if this guy had a star, and it turned out that this guy did not. He just had a shit ton of star bits. But anyways, you may notice today that my commentary is going to be a little bit different because I made a mistake. Well, first I'm going to show you. So yesterday I was working on this. And what that is a, it was me just trying to, I was bored and I plugged my guitar into my computer and I recorded a little cover of the Deku Palace theme from Majora's Mask. The problem with that is, there's nothing wrong with, getting bored and recording a cover of the Deku Palace theme from Majora's Mask. Where the problem comes in is in the fact that I did not remember to switch my main recording microphone back to this pretty little microphone that's sitting in front of my face right now, the microphone that I am currently using to record this commentary. So today I am doing post-commentary because it's just another one of those days where it's like I could go through and just re-record with live commentary, but I don't know, it doesn't seem like the best thing to do, and so yeah, I'm coming through, I'm doing post-commentary. Post-commentary to me seems a little bit weird for a Mario video, just because in a Mario video, a lot of my commentary is really reactive, like I'm reacting to the things that are happening around me in the world, whereas like in some games when I've had to do post-commentary, like in Zelda games, there's a lot of puzzles, and I know what's coming up, so I can kind of just like use the time to introduce the puzzles. But today I will do, for the sake of whatever, a post-commentary on this. By the way, so I found that little side route there. You can take a main route, whatever. It's all good, and I took a shit ton of damage. As you can see, I was not doing so hot in this episode. I was getting my ass royally handed to me right off the bat, and then I wasn't paying attention. Like, I was sort of, I don't know what I was doing right there, but I like looked away from the screen for a couple seconds, only to find out that I had to spin the Wiimote again and not realize it, and so I just died. But I will point out now that what's funny about my death there is that my death caused me to be able to have enough star bits to feed this Hungry Luma. Otherwise, I would have had to come back and do this Hungry Luma later. So maybe my death was a gift. I was able to allow this Luma to accomplish its dreams of becoming a planetoid. By the way, though, this Luma, I kind of hate this Luma right here. So the reason that I hate this Luma is because he turned into such a challenging planetoid. So challenging, in fact, that I didn't even properly edit out my deaths. So I just actually had to re-edit a little bit because I realized just now as I was going through and rewatching and doing the post-commentary that I just totally left in a complete death cycle, and I was like, shit, I should probably cut that out. But yeah, that is just how challenging this little planetoid was. I don't even know why this planetoid was like so challenging compared to the other ones. I feel like the little blue fire dudes, in other Mario games, when you spin, the blue fire dudes totally don't, they get their blue fire taken away from them, but here they didn't seem to, and I don't know, I just kept on running into problem after problem. Like immediately after I get my star here, I run and just foolishly completely get rid of it. I don't even know what I was doing on this planetoid, but it was probably one of the toughest stars I've gotten in a while. I mean, I didn't die as many times as I've died on some stars, but I definitely died a lot here. It was like really, really bad. So bad, in fact, I'm actually gonna stop the recording right now and cut this. I cut that actually because I got caught on this little island for such a long time. I was just sitting there trying to get off the island, and then I would somehow manage to mess it up, and I would attempt to leave the island and the cycle wouldn't be well timed, and then I'd come back and then I'd attempt to leave again. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how I ever managed to get this star, even though actually, what I should be saying is I don't know how I managed to not get this star. This was like one of the easiest stars. Well, I guess it wasn't the easiest star ever. I mean, clearly, it must have a certain level of challenge, but finally I was able to collect that fifth thing, although I did it on the most treacherous of the star chunks. Like, I wish I had done that on a slightly less treacherous star chunk, because I felt like I was fucking in such danger here. I was scared to even walk off that island and go get the star. I was just sitting there thinking to myself, I'm not so sure about jumping off of here right now. That seems like a particularly bad idea. That's not the type of trouble. That's trouble with capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool. Sadly, though, there are no pools on this molten rock of an island. But then, yeah, then I immediately cut back after that star to the island that I left off on, just because I figured there was no reason for me to re-show myself getting back up to that island. But once again, they're offering me, this scared me a little bit, because here they offer me another 6 life mushroom. And I'm starting to realize that when they offer you a 6 life mushroom, it means that they're expecting you to take some damage. By the way, I thought I would leave this death in right here. I thought this thing looked like something you could land on. And so what I tried to do was I tried to not spin and just let myself fall onto that thing. I'm like, oh, this is the thing you can stand on, which, I mean, look, they have all those spires around it. It totally looks like there was going to be a secret there. So I'm not going to say it was my fault that I died there. I'm going to say it was the game's fault for making it look too much like there was going to be a secret. I mean, Nintendo's usually pretty good about that too. Usually, if there's going to be a secret, or if there's not going to be a secret, they don't make it look very secrety. But that was a place where, shame on you, Nintendo. You made that look way too damn secrety, and poor old Raktar got tricked because he sat there and he was like, hey, I think this looks like a place where a secret's going to be. And boy, was I saddened when I found out that that was not a place there was a secret going to be, because I almost died. In fact, in this episode, what's really funny is for the first time in like the whole series, I think, I came damn close to a game over in this episode. I got down to 0 lives at one point, and like I was constantly dying. Nothing ever went right for me in this episode, and it was just so amazing to me that I even managed to survive the life that I was attempting to live. Although this part right here was a part that I felt would be really easy. I was like, I'm really good at just running and jumping up while like lava's following you or something. But it turned out also this part hated my America too. As this thing crumbled away, I realized, oh, by the way, something I noticed as I was re-editing, I tried my second time jumping to the... Oh, I just revealed the fact that I die here. I tried my second time jumping really far onto the spire so I could get a head start. No matter what you do, it always stops you. Crap, that was bad. It always stops you and makes you start from the same point. So you can't like cheat. You can't use sweet strategies to get ahead of the game. You just have to start where the game tells you to start. And that kind of saddened me because I thought I was going to be tricky and make some shortcuts and stuff and be a badass. But it turned out the whole time that one thing that Raktar is apparently not good at being is a badass. But it all worked out in the end. Oh, why did I go after... Gosh, damn it. Going after that 1-up is a big mistake when you have the lava this close behind you. I feel like I could have gambled right there, but because I think that maybe getting the lava that close on me is what made me get a little bit frantic and die against this dude. Like, I seriously don't see how I managed to die against that guy. But anyways, star gotten. Everything works out for the best once again. But then I start the next star, which I think is the final star of this episode. This is a big episode because in this episode, I may not get to 120 stars, which of course is, you know, the final star count in the game. But what I do manage to do is get to 100 stars, which to me is always a big number in a Mario game because you never really need 100 to actually beat the game. By the way, so right here, Hungry Luma pops up. I'm not going to show on camera. I went and checked the Hungry Luma. That Hungry Luma takes 1,600 star bits, and at the time, I only had 1,400 star bits, which is very unusual, because, so I complained a lot, interestingly enough. I made a lot of little complaints about the fact that in Super Mario Galaxy 2, I had to farm star bits. In this game, I thought that I was never going to have to, because it always felt like I had, like, more than enough star bits, but that was the first time when a Hungry Luma popped up, I didn't have enough star bits to feed it. So I was a little bit sad and disappointed by that. And by the way, right here, I noticed that these torches need to be lit, but I'm like, I don't have a fireball. And I jumped back, but I have to cut this because I went all the way back to the beginning looking for a fire flower, only to realize that the reason they put this dude in here is so you can secretly lure him around and trick him into opening the path of destruction for you. Otherwise, the path of destruction would not have been opened. So thank you, my enemy, for opening up for me the path of destruction for my gold and justice and destruction. By the way, I think I showed this on camera. Yep. I thought this jump totally looked makeable. Like, I was like, dude, you can skip a huge chunk of the level right here if you just make this jump. But the gravity has some weird effect on you in that area. And if you try to make that jump, it just like slowly pulls you down until you just like realize you've basically fucked yourself over. I was like, oh man, that totally seemed like something you could do. And then right here, you have to be just straight up brave. And I wasn't. I got scared and I was like, well, where do I go now? And the answer is when you get scared and you're not brave, you go to death. But then luckily you pop back up and I braved it up on the second time around. I don't know why I showed this whole thing, but that's fine. But yeah, right here, you totally just have to be straight up brave. And see, look, they even give you a little one-up to tell you, hey, it's okay to keep jumping here. Like, the game even tried to signal to me that I was going to be safe, but I was unwilling to accept the signals that I was going to be safe. And then right here, I didn't realize that you just had to go one at a time. I kept on waiting for a good time to do both of them. And of course, waiting for a good time to do both of them was obviously a bad idea. Like, all they really expected out of you was to wait for a good time just to get one of them, and it all would work out for you in the end. Once again, they scare the shit out of me right here because I'm like, oh, they're giving me another 6 health mushroom, which means once again that they intend for me to do some debonair, devilish, divine stunts, which I'm just not ready to do right now in my life. I'm not ready for debonair, devilish, divine stunts. Clearly, as is shown by the fact that I just like dumbassedly pretty much just jump in the lava. Oh my gosh. Look at how quickly it all goes away. They give it to you, and then it all goes away. It's a metaphor for life. No, just kidding. I'm not that much of a defeatist. I'm definitely not the defeatist type, but I seriously, right here, I was like, god damn it. Actually, if you look at, I feel like I played the Melty Molten Galaxy. I showed 3 stars in this episode. I didn't do any of them particularly well. Like, usually on any given day, I do at least 1 star really well. But right here, I was just like, oh my gosh. These stars are the worst, they're the hardest, and they're the least fun. Although, here's one thing, though. This little area right here, I think I can brag, because this, I totally one-shot. I think this would have been a reasonably challenging area, and maybe I was just so tired of failing that I decided, I was like, you know what, it's time for me just to get in there, not screw up this whole bullet bill. God, once again, I actually, even though it's a mechanic they use a lot, I really enjoy the guide your bullet bill through like a series of things mechanic, because I think that they can ramp up the difficulty enough that it always feels fresh every time you have to do that sort of thing where you have to guide your bullet bill to a certain point that you want to go. Oh gosh. And then I was really super happy and excited when I saw the rolling ball mechanic here, but I was also super terrified. I was just like, wow, they expect me to do this mechanic here? Oh, and the reason I die there is because I didn't realize that you lose all your momentum when you attempt to... So yeah, when you attempt to jump on these, you lose all your momentum. So then the next time around, I realized, yeah, that I had to do it that way and be a little bit patient and regain some of my momentum, because if you don't regain your momentum, you're basically effed. And then from this point on, I don't know, like, a trigger of justice went off inside of me, but I just decided that I was going to non-quitter style it, just go all out beast mode, and destroy that star, and I truly did. And it all worked out for the best. So yeah, this was my post-commentary attempt. I think this is a weird series, like I said, for post-commentary, but I get the 3 stars in this episode. In the next episode, I'm going to obviously complete the Melty Molten Galaxy. I'll try to get enough star bits to feed that hangry Luma, but for now I'm going to end this episode right here, and yeah, this has been Raktar. Thank you for watching.